Today, in our video, we will explore this topic in depth with complete impartiality to address whether God is truly all-loving and whether He still exists in our lives. I urge you to watch this video attentively until the end. If possible, grab a notebook and pen or perhaps your coffee or tea because this video is going to be incredibly engaging and by the end it will transform your perspective on life and the way you think. So, let's get started. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the world without fear, emotions, happiness, wealth, poverty, love, prayers, and faith. What do you feel? I don't know what you felt, but it feels like a robotic life. The purpose of life, humanity, and world seem to vanish. In that case, would not it have been better if angels were sent to the world instead of humans? What would be the need for humans then? Through education and knowledge, one can recognize God. In other words, one can understand the existence of God. If someone claims that God does not exist, they have not done proper research or gained biased knowledge. In every religion worldwide, there is evidence of God's existence. While we can't definitively say which religion is right or wrong, we can understand that if there is smoke, there must be fire, meaning yes, there is God. Let's understand this with an example. If someone told you a story 10 years ago and today you tell that same story to a friend, some words would likely change and the story might be a bit different. Then, if your friend tells the same story to someone else, there would be even more chances of changes and mistakes. Similarly, God sent many messengers to earth who conveyed His message to the people. But over time, people created their religions and altered the message to a significant extent. However, this doesn't mean that the existence of God or the original story that was told is invalid. Some people complain that if God exists, He should love everyone equally and not allow suffering. They wonder why atrocities like rape, disasters, or the death of loved ones occur. Why is not everything always perfect? Imagine if everything were flawless and nothing unfortunate ever happened to anyone, regardless of whether a person worked hard, prayed, performed good deeds, or used the intellect God gave them. Or not. What if someone harmed others, broke hearts, deceived people, or humiliated others but never faced any consequences? And good deeds never received any reward. Now consider a world where no one ever died. Without death, there would be no fear of loss or profound emotions tied to it. Death is the greatest truth of life, yet many people ignore this and get so caught up in worldly pursuits that they end up doing wrong, even temporarily denying the reality of death. But no one has ever lived without eventually dying. Just imagine if God were visible, people might still deny His existence, reject His divinity, and create chaos on earth. If one religion had more importance, its followers might start to think of themselves as divine. The fact that God is unseen affirms His divinity. Without death, there would not be true love, no fear of losing someone, and relationships would not be valued as they are now. Those who mock the reality of death, forget their mortality, and take someone else's life, would they believe in God even if they saw Him? Some people have complaints and grievances with God, questioning why He treated them in a certain way or allowed certain things to happen. When someone they love dies, they remain angry with God throughout their life, and some even deny His existence. Are these people not selfish? If God has granted them countless blessings and happiness, but gives them one sorrow. They get upset about that one sorrow. They are egoistic, not accepting God's will and seeing Him as their God. Instead, they regard themselves as divine. Such people are slaves to their desires and ego. The deceased person, once gone, was just a body. Their story has ended, and their soul has returned to God. God must have given them a new life, and their soul is in God's possession. However, such people see deceased only as their own and believe that no one, not even God, can take anything away from them. Disbelievers' beliefs themselves serve as evidence of the existence of God. For instance, if God does not exist, then how can everything in the universe function with such intricate order? Why are some people rich, some poor, some healthy, and some sick, while in the end everyone has to die? Sometimes people laugh, sometimes they cry. Some are pleased with God, while others are displeased. Why are some prayers answered while others are not? If there were no God, the world would operate in a monotonous manner, almost like an automation system where everyone is treated equally. Everyone would be happy and everyone would be wealthy. Eventually, science might even hack this system. But this world is so complex that since the creation of humankind, people have been searching for God through research, philosophy, and science. While many mysteries have been solved, many remain, and perhaps by the time they are resolved, the day of judgment might arrive, or the world or humanity itself may come to an end. If there were no such power as God, then the world would follow a specific pattern, and this spectacle we see would not exist. And just think, if no such power exists, then why does not everything happen according to human desires? Why are all prayers not answered? Why do people fail despite working so hard? Why do people die suddenly? Why do some people believe in a divine plan? Why is it that when someone does something wrong to others, eventually something wrong happens to them as well? And this is called God's justice or karma. This is the greatest evidence of God's existence, that His system of running the universe is beyond human understanding. We as humans can never fully grasp it because we are merely human. We can create robots, but we cannot instill a soul in them. We can build airplanes, but we cannot control the weather. We can predict weather conditions, but we cannot prevent the unforeseen. And He can change the weather whenever He wishes, rendering many human predictions incorrect. And if this life were completely peaceful without any hardships or sorrow, would not that make God unjust? If people were to prosper regardless of whether they worked hard or not, or if someone did wrong to others but only experienced good in return, then the very purpose of creating the world would be nullified. In that case, instead of humans, God would have sent angels to inhabit the earth. God never stopped humans from making mistakes. In fact, God acknowledges that humans are fallible and bound to make errors. God says, I know that you are human and humans make mistakes. But if you sincerely repent and seek forgiveness from me, I will surely forgive you. When has God ever said that He will not forgive? Okay, just imagine this. If the world operated in a monotonous automated way, where there was no sorrow, nothing bad ever happened, and everything functioned robotically, would not people still blame God, saying that He does not exist, and that's why everything is so automated? It's also true that this world stage play has been created by God Himself. Here, not all fingers are equal. Good and bad people coexist. Some believe in God while others do not. And since this stage play is designed by God, there is no need for us to argue with anyone. Instead, we should look within our hearts and believe in what makes sense to us. We should not force anyone to believe in God's existence, nor should anyone compel us to believe that God does not exist. Instead, one should conduct their research without blindly following anyone. Approach your inquiry without bias, exploring religion, science, history, astronomy, and spirituality. Considering all these fields without rejecting any of them outright, and without adopting an absolute or extreme stance in any one area. Absolute thinking and extremism are dangerous and misguided. Balance and moderation are the best approaches. No human in this world has ever had a perfect or absolute life. If there were no problems in the world, would anyone truly understand the pain of another? It's in human nature to be selfish, and until something happens to them personally, they often fail to comprehend the suffering of others. It is through life's ups and downs, pain and joy, success and failure, that humans grow. This is how discipline, self-awareness, maturity, and understanding develop. Qualities that robots and angels lack. Distance of oppression is not that a test for every individual? Are not these trials from God based on which He will reward or punish? If you reflect and research these matters, I am certain you will find clues that reveal that behind all these injustices, there is human involvement, driven by selfishness. The solutions to these problems do exist, but they are often ignored due to human ego. One of God's names is As-Sabur, the patient, meaning He is patient. Indeed, He sees everything, but He allows things to happen and gives humans the free will to act as they choose. However, one day He will take His retribution. God sees what you cannot see and knows what you do not know. To attain knowledge of God, one needs understanding. If a person denies God's existence or refuses to acknowledge Him as all-loving, based solely on their emotions, ego, experiences, or the experiences of others, then they are mistaken. I do not assert that any particular religion is right or wrong. That is for individuals to determine. However, the truth is that evidence of God's existence can be found in every religion. There are, however, individuals in the world who have misused knowledge, attempting to exploit God's systems and powers, rather than understanding Him. Their aim is to become powerful and rule the world. But ultimately, these individuals cannot control death. Some have passed away and some are still alive. Indeed, a person can only perceive and understand as much as God has granted them knowledge. Thank you so much for watching my video. This channel is dedicated to spreading positivity in the world. So please don't forget to contribute by liking the video. If you have any confusion or issues, do let me know in the comments section. Also, please share your suggestions on what topic the next video should cover. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, and be sure to check out other videos on the channel. You will learn a lot. For now, goodbye, and I will see you in the next video.